the wet pine cones hit the roof, and it's just like little pellets, just ba ba ba, and then next thing you know, I heard that whole tree come down.
Even though we had all-wheel drive, I think it was better to chain up safe. Better to be safe than sorry.
High winds in the lowlands, heavy snow in the highlands. Now at 4, it's a Fox 13 weather alert day, and things are still very active out there.
And from toppled trees to dangerous driving conditions, we're tracking the storm's impact and what's still in store. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Nia Wong.
And I'm Hannah Kim. First at 4, Fox 13 has issued a weather alert day with a blizzard warning in effect up in the Cascades. Here's a look at conditions at Stevens Pass earlier today. Less than an hour ago, Stevens Pass closed down due to poor visibility, high winds, and heavy snow. Ski resorts in the central and northern Cascades could see more than 3 feet of snow by the end of tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the lowlands, wind is the weather headline. Gusts were strong enough to bring down branches and trees. Windy conditions not expected to calm down until later tonight. And with strong winds come power outages. Puget Sound Energy currently working to restore power to around 20,000 homes and customers.
We have team weather coverage for you throughout the evening with meteorologist Claire Anderson and Ilona McCauley tracking all of the latest. But let's start with Claire. So how's the current wind conditions looking?
Well, for this afternoon and evening, it has been strong. The wind out there, even overnight, we saw wind gusts over 60 miles per hour out toward Whidbey Island, Shelton, over 55 miles per hour, SeaTac and Bonnie Lake, almost 50 miles per hour, as well as Painfield and Mount Vernon. Now, for this evening, we do still see strong winds. Check this out. Whidbey Island just hit a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. We're seeing winds between 20 to over 30 miles per hour still across western Washington for this evening. And, of course, we had all that heavy rain as well, so the soil's not super stable. We've been seeing a lot of downed trees and, of course, the branches breaking. Now, we do have wind warnings and advisories in effect. High wind warning continues up to the San Juans along with Port Townsend area. That continues through 10 o'clock tonight with wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour. And the wind advisory for western Washington, all this light brown here, that continues until 10 o'clock tonight as well, up to 60 miles per hour. Now, the wind and the rain have been the main story in the lowlands, but the wind and the snow up into the mountain passes. Meteorologist Ilona McCauley has been tracking that, and we've been seeing conditions like this in a long time.
Yeah, we were talking about that just yesterday. I mean, it's been over a decade that we have seen a blizzard warning issued for parts of the Cascades and the Olympics, and that's exactly what we still have in effect right now as of this afternoon. Taking a look at those latest warnings, you can see it stretches all the way from the North Cascades through Central and South Cascades, as well as the Olympics above 2,000 feet. We mentioned just a short time ago that Stevens Pass is currently closed because of poor visibility. That is because of those gusty winds and that heavy snowfall that has been coming down all day, and these totals have been impressive. That's going to remain in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Take a look at those 24-hour totals. Over 2 feet of snow has been picked up in areas of Paradise, just barely under 2 feet of snow at Stevens Pass, and it is still snowing there as we speak. Snoqualmie Pass picking up 19 inches, and as we are forecasting, we're not done with the snow just yet. We are still expecting to see some pretty hefty totals through the rest of tonight and on into early tomorrow morning. We'll have that future cast coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Ilona. And we are staring down, as we've been saying, the baddest of the bad kind of snow event, an actual blizzard.
Nearly 2 feet of wind-driven snow has piled up so far, turning our mild winter into a howling whiteout for drivers. Fox 13's AJ Janabel's been out in the storm all day. And AJ, what are conditions like where you are now?
Well, yeah, it's cold. It's a little windy. You can see behind me how, well, probably you can't see behind me because the visibility is so bad. As you're looking up Snoqualmie, you can only see probably halfway up. I don't know if you can tell from the roofs of the building that wind will pick up and whip that snow from the roof. If you can't tell, take a look right here. This smaller version of Snoqualmie, actually, from all the plow that's been coming in. I was getting a chance to talk to drivers, getting a chance to see the effects that this snow has had. It's been difficult for folks along I-90 at parts of the day. There were closures. Other people tell me they're stranded here.
It was even deeper.
Amara Mears' car did not look like this when he parked it here Monday night.
If we missed this exit and kept going, we would have been stranded on the freeway.
Amar and his girlfriend, Abby, are trying to drive east to head back to school.
I knew there was a blizzard coming, but I was like, man, I can beat it, you know?
You need heavier manpower to beat this blizzard.
There was 19 inches of snow that drove the decision this morning.
Around 8:30 in the morning, WashDOT shut down eastbound I-90 for avalanche control. The program has been around for decades, and while they don't use the tank anymore, crews still do a bang-up job keeping the mountain road safe.
They are watching it 24/7 just to assess, and that's why they do these avalanche controls, so they can actually prevent something that could be more catastrophic.
Due to the closure, traffic backed up on the interstate, which led to some drivers needing to refuel.
Do you want me to pay now or later?
But power outages at Snoqualmie Pass made that a challenge.
Sometimes we get it only a couple hours, sometimes 3 days, you know.
Paulo Ortiz tells me, when you've worked here for 3 decades, you know what to expect. And that includes how to stock your shelves.
Some people want to change, they try to go make a home, you know. Some people buy alcohol because they like enjoying the mountain.
So I don't know if you guys can tell, but you're looking at the road right now. The conditions are not good. Earlier in the day, Washington State Patrol was out at mile marker 47. That's right before you get to the pass, making sure that people who needed to have chains on had their chains on, and making sure that the people had the right tires. If they didn't, they forced them to turn around. Now, they won't be out there all night, so you need to make sure that you are driving safely, you do have the right tires or the right chains, because if you don't, it could be dangerous. And if you do get by without getting into an accident, it could cost you hundreds of dollars. So just be aware of those conditions if you're crossing the pass. Reporting live here in Snoqualmie Pass, I'm AJ Janovel, Fox 13 News.
Yeah, quite a scene out there, AJ. Stay safe. And today's high winds toppling trees around the Sound, leaving some homeowners with a big mess to clean up. Check out the scene in Federal Way. A large tree fell on an assisted living facility in a neighborhood near Lake Jean. 5 people had to be rescued, but thankfully no one was hurt. There are actually 3 trees that came down in this immediate area. We'll give you a closer look at the damage coming up at 4:30.
And down trees and branches led to lots of power outages, and those high winds also impacting ferry riders.
Fox 13's Matt Smith joining us live from the newsroom with more on the storm's impact. Matthew.
Well, Hannah, it's been sort of a nonstop flurry of activity throughout the day in this newsroom. This isn't just one area being affected, not one street. We're seeing issues throughout all of our viewing area right now. Washington has north of 25,000 homes or businesses without power at this hour. But to give you a better idea, just take a look at this map. This is just Seattle City Light. And one big thing I want to point out is the number of events, 57 right now. Meanwhile, Puget Sound Energy, they've topped 300 in the past hour or two. And again, these are all over. So take a closer look. This is Peninsula Light. They work out near Gig Harbor. They shared this photo of a tree taking out a power line. We've actually had similar reports and pictures coming in from East King County and a number of other areas. Next, you've got ferry problems. Kitsap County has already shut down the Guemes Island ferry due to the weather issues they've been seeing. For the state ferry system, tide issues will be an issue for a number of Port Townsend and Coupeville runs, so please continue to monitor runs. We have some cancellations, some delays that have already popped up. Again, that has more to do with the tides, though. And like I said, we've got a deluge of updates coming in every single minute or so here. This really does line up with what our weather team's been predicting, so this isn't a surprise to anyone that's been watching, but we also realize this stuff can build up quickly and catch some off guard when they're not thinking about it. So I'm going to continue to keep an eye on all the developments down here, and we'll have more updates for you as they come in to us.